All right, guys, so we have some tough love for you today again, and this is definitely tying into some of the videos that I put on my channel last week where I was outlining essentially what I think is one of the main causes of producers bailing out of this business far too soon, and maybe just having the wrong expectations when they jump in, start signing their music to libraries, seeing which libraries hopefully are going to be, delivering results for them and getting their music placed on TV. And shortly after I had published those videos, got an email. New producer interested in sync licensing, has been at it for maybe a year or so. And this producer said that they had 3 tracks with a library, was asking my opinion on that library, and said that the tracks have been sent off and distributed as of April, so 4 or 5 months ago now, and hadn't seen a placement yet. And so was curious, is this a legit company? Should I keep sending them music? What do you think? And so first off, I get it. It is very difficult. It is very hard to put a lot of effort and time and your music, your creative, effort, basically your babies, into the hands of people that you haven't necessarily worked with before, and trusting, hoping, fingers crossed, that they are going to get your tracks placed. And there is a temptation to send off just a couple of tracks, maybe just 3, and then sit back, cross your arms, and kind of see what happens. Not put any more effort into it, not make any more music, not ask them what they need next, but basically just say, well, I did my part. I gave you the music. Now you do your part. Prove yourself to me that I should keep making music and keep sending it to you. I get it. I understand that. I have felt that way in my career. So that's completely understandable. The tough love, though, that I'm going to give you guys today is that if you have less than 50 tracks in however many libraries you've successfully partnered with, it could be 2, 3, 5, 10, doesn't matter. But if the total number of tracks you have out there being distributed, potentially getting placed with TV clients, is less than 50, you haven't really even gotten to the starting line yet. Okay? And I know that can be a tough thing to hear. It might be discouraging. I'm not meaning to discourage you. I'm not meaning to try to deflate your bubble or to deflate your motivation. But you got to do some basic math. There is an element of this being a numbers game, especially if you're going to follow in my footsteps, do what I did to secure. Now I've crossed over 10,000 placements. I did that by working with production music libraries, a variety of them, and I consistently supplied them with new music even before I got the results, even before I saw the royalties, before they were showing that they could prove themselves to me. I replied to this producer and sent them one of those videos from last week because I said, listen, I can already tell. You're kind of falling into the pattern that I see countless producers falling into, which is understandable, but it is going to prevent you from succeeding in the long term. And this producer definitely sounded like he fit into that category of having less than 50 tracks. The reason why you haven't even gotten to the starting line yet is because with the numbers game involved with this business, around 50 tracks is probably where, again, depending on which library or catalogs you're working with, around 50 tracks, I would say maybe even closer to 100, is where the number of tracks you're putting into the system could maybe increase the odds of you securing consistent placements, right? Because just do the basic math. Whatever catalog you're submitting to, if you just gave them 3 or 5 and they have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 or even more, what are your odds of securing a placement? Okay, sometimes it's not that simple just to do a top number over bottom number. Obviously, it depends on market demand and genre and quality of your music, et cetera, et cetera. But there is a numbers game to this. Okay, so I would say if you are in that sub 50 tracks, maybe even creeping up into the 100, that's far too soon, far too early, far too basically just far too soon, too quick to judge any particular library on whether or not they're going to be delivering results for you or not. You just haven't given them and their catalog enough of you to properly evaluate that yet. Also with this other producer that I had an email with that sort of inspired those previous 2 videos that I put on my channel. They had around 30 or 40 tracks. I told them the same thing. I said, you're not even quite in a place where you can say if what you're doing is working or not. You're not even really properly there yet to be able to evaluate, should I keep doing what I'm doing or is this not working? 30 to 40 tracks, you're getting there. And again, I don't want to, dismiss or demean your guys' progress in this business. 3 tracks in a library is better than 0 tracks in a library, right? So it's always in comparison to what. But this is a business that does require numbers. It requires consistent effort. And also it requires a bit of faith, a bit of trust, and a bit of a risk, because you have to risk a lot of effort and time and energy into the production music libraries that you're going to partner with, even before you see the results. Okay. And there's really nothing I can do or anybody can do to guarantee you that, oh yeah, if you just send your tracks to that library, you will get placements next month. If I had the technology or the ability to give you guys that, I would do it. The closest thing that I've been able to do that I've seen online, I don't know if there's anything better. If you guys know of a better tool and a better way to try to provide that visibility, post it below. I'm very curious about it. But the closest thing I think is SyncMatch, because SyncMatch shows you guys what libraries are recently placing. So at least, and you obviously can hear the tracks to know what the quality is you'd be kind of up against. So at least you know, oh, this library does place my particular genre of music. Here's the quality that they've been recently placing. I better make sure that I'm on par with that, and I'm going to go give it a shot, because I know there is a market demand for this particular music with this particular company. That's the best game in town that I've been able to see, and that's one of the reasons why I created SyncMatch, because I think that is going to be a game changer for those of you that want those direct insights, okay? But apart from that, you still have to take a risk, okay? Even if you do get partnered with a great library and it's a perfect fit for your style of music, and you've got competitive music and you're on top, and you're basically an A-list producer, composer, that kind of a thing, there is still no guarantee that the music you pitch to them on day one is going to land a placement ever, much less in the first couple of weeks or months of you working with them. That is not something that anybody can promise you or deliver to you at all in this industry. So take that off the table. That can't be there. So what do you do instead? Well, you focus on what I believe you can control, which is developing that relationship from day one. So this producer who has 3 tracks and sounds like they haven't really been active with the library, probably haven't been emailing them, haven't been texting them, other than maybe once in a while, hey, have you gotten me a placement yet? It's not exactly the most positive way to interact with a library that you just started working with, okay? It's kind of like getting a job and the first week you go, hey, so when can I take that vacation, right? It's not really a good look. So what I would say for all of you guys that really want to do this full time, or at least take this seriously enough to start seeing some significant results from it, you got to make this choice basically from day one. You're either going to be a serious player in this business, meaning you're going to commit, you're going to make music, you're going to continuously supply to the libraries that you do get accepted by, even before you see the results, or you just want to dabble in the business. And that's okay too. I don't want to say that everybody has to do the same thing. There are many of you that are subscribed to this channel that probably aren't interested in this as a full-time job, or maybe even worried about part-time income. It's just like a passion. It's a hobby. It's something fun to do. It sort of gets you excited about music. And that's awesome too, okay? For those of you that are in that camp, you can dabble, right? You can throw a couple of tracks here and there, see what happens. If nothing happens, all right, you really weren't that, invested in seeing these outcomes. But for the rest of you that are invested, that really do want to count on this kind of income and count on this sort of industry to basically start supporting you, that is the only approach that's going to make any difference, or it's going to make any sense in terms of having a shot at turning this into full-time income, okay? It's hard enough even taking that approach, even doing the sort of, all right, I'm 100% in, I'm just going to keep cranking out, I'm going to pitch music off the libraries, I'm going to forget about it, let them handle that. I'll ask them what's next. I'll see if there's something else I can provide for them. Maybe you guys will use SyncMatch to know exactly where the marketplace demand is for your particular music, or maybe even your particular library. You'll get insights here that maybe they even aren't offering you because they don't have to, but you can get access to that through SyncMatch. However it is you're going to do it, you are going to have that mindset and that understanding that you have to sort of make your own luck and your own path in this business. And you're not going to sit back, arms folded, waiting for other people to deliver you results before you get your butt off the couch and start working. Successful producers, the ones that take this seriously, they're just grinding. They're just working and they're outpacing everybody else who's just sort of dabbling and throwing a couple of tracks out there and waiting and seeing who's going to deliver for them. So anyways, just a little bit more tough love on this topic because it seems to continuously pop up in my email inbox, which means it's probably popping up for many of you guys. But if you have any further comments, questions, insights about this, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below.